Serving in Spanish in the Ogden Mission, you pretty much only teach in Spanish. You make English contacts here on the road when you're knocking doors, but mostly you teach in Spanish. And the Spanish people are so friendly. All the Hispanics are. They, when you would knock on the door, they would usually say they're Catholic, they have no interest, but they would invite you in for dinner and sit you down. As long as you didn't talk about the church, they were fine. A lot of people are super willing, though, to talk about God. One of the main problems we found was they were also very non-committal. The people in Spanish-speaking countries usually would rather have you believe that they want you to come back and be polite to you and nice and make you feel good than tell you no, that they're not interested. So it was something that we struggle with, getting real commitments out of people, finding out if they really wanted us to come back or if they were just being polite to us. That said, the people that did want us to come back were very excited about hearing about the church. And Spanish people in general, or Hispanic people in general, are also very excited that you're trying to learn their language. They were also very encouraging and forgiving. If you made a mistake, they didn't mind. They would help you. They were very patient as you were trying to explain things. One thing that helped a lot to connect with the people from other countries that speak Spanish was just trying to learn the language, like I said, and also being willing to eat their food. If they offer you food, you never can refuse. You have to eat it. And you might be eating a lot of food, and that's just something you're going to have to deal with, which is fine. The food's delicious. I loved it all. My favorite food was Mexican food, but also had a lot of favorites from Peru and Argentina. Mexican food's the spiciest out of all of it, so you have to be comfortable eating jalapenos and sometimes habaneros. But if you can handle that, you're going to be fine. You build a tolerance up over time. I got to the point where I didn't like American food. I only wanted to eat Mexican food. See, some of the other challenges we faced while we were teaching Hispanic people is there's a lot of illegal immigrants here in Utah, and the church has decided that to be baptized, we don't need to ask if someone's illegal or not, if they're documented or not. But so we never asked if people were documented or not. Sometimes they would just tell us, and we would say that's fine. But yeah, they're perfectly able to be baptized. Some problems with that, though, were sometimes we wouldn't find them in the same place twice. Sometimes a lot of people weren't married, but they were living with a partner, and they couldn't get married because they were married to someone that they hadn't seen for 20 years, that they had no contact with. And it made it harder because they weren't documented to find those people, get divorces, and help them get married. We ended up having to actually help a lot of people get divorced before they could get married, which is something I never thought I would be doing as a missionary. But it was very exciting to find people that actually were married so they could get baptized. Obviously, you can't get baptized if you're living with someone and not married. So one of the best ways we found to gain the trust of the Hispanic people is spending time with them. Eating food's big, but spending time with them is also very important to them. Talking with them, asking them about their culture, and being excited about where they're from. I know a lot of times the English missionaries got direction that they were only supposed to be in houses for about 15 minutes, but our president told us, you're working with a different culture. You do what you need to do. And it was very important to go around to the members, make friends with them, joke with them. They're very informal. So it was just a lot of fun. The Spanish wards and branches were also a lot of fun. They really know how to throw the best parties, and American parties don't. They're just not fun. But yeah, they really feel like a family when you go to a Spanish branch or a Spanish ward. They really include you. They want you to feel like a brother, like you actually belong there. They never really treated me as an outsider. And yeah, something really big is just learning the geography of the different Latin American countries. That helped a lot. And it's fun to just learn some different facts about different states and places. It's hard to talk about something specific because there's people from everywhere. But I found if you learn just a couple facts about different places, when people say they're from there, you could bring that up, and they were always very pleased that you knew something about it. Like there's mummies in Guanajuato, Mexico, or La Huacana, Mexico is next to a little river, and the church is this many blocks away from the big supermarket. And if you could throw little facts like that out when you realize there's places that a lot of people have in common, they got really excited that you knew something about their town, and they would just open up to you on the street.